Hey everybody. So look on the screen. This is a an actor in the show. It's on Hulu called 99 Homes. And I want you to listen to this clip. Let's have a conversation. This here, this guy's like basically a realtor. And when people lose their homes, they go in, they'll, and resell them. They also have some shady stuff going on where they'll take the appliances out. Then he'll send an invoice to the bank, and the bank will reimburse him to put them back in. And then guess what? Where's the money coming from the bank? The government reimburses the bank. So there's a system in place. And to accomplish anything, you need to have a system. Okay? If you have a system in place that works, it's going to work out for you. You know, it's business. If you have a broken system in place, like fatherless homes, it's a broken system and you get broken results. So let's look at this and listen to what he says. And then you look at today, fast forward, you got the bailouts, you got SVB, you had the stimulus checks, then you had PPP, SBA. Okay, so think about that as you listen to this clip. Check it out.
Yes.
And he's talking to another worker, okay, explaining to him about life in general. But listen to what he says and think about, the stimulus checks, SVB, what happened to bailout, and what have you.
Because who in their right mind wouldn't rather put someone in a home than drag them out of it? Up until 3 years ago, I was a regular old real estate agent. Putting people in homes, speculating on property, that was my job. Now, in 2006, Robert and Julia Tanner borrowed $30,000 to put an enclosed patio on their home that they had somehow managed to live without for 25 years. Why don't you ask them about that when they're spitting in your face while you walk them to the curb? Why don't you ask the bank what the hell they were thinking giving these people an adjustable rate mortgage? And then you can go to the government and ask them why they lifted every regulation and sat there like a retarded stepchild. You, Tanner, banks, Washington, every other homeowner and investor from here to China turned my life into evictions. I'm not an aristocrat. I wasn't born into this. My daddy was a roofer, okay? I grew up on construction sites watching him bust his ass until he fell off of a townhouse one day. A lifetime of insurance payments, and they dropped him before he could buy a wheelchair, but only after they got him hooked on painkillers. Now, do you think I'm going to let that happen to me? You think America 2010 gives a flying rat's ass about Carver or Nash? America doesn't bail out the losers. America was built by bailing out winners, by rigging a nation of the winners, for the winners, by the winners.
Did you hear that? So Main Street doesn't get bailed out because...
You think America 2010 gives a flying rat's ass about Carver or Nash? America doesn't bail out the losers. America was built by bailing out winners, by rigging a nation of the winners, for the winners, by the winners.
That explains why they don't bail out Main Street. We live in a capitalist society, and that's what they're going to bail out. SVB, a lot of people had tens of millions of dollars in those accounts. A lot of them voted blue. A lot of those were startups. You have to stay ahead of the game. You have to get with innovation. You just can't sit and stand still and say, I'm going to hope and pray about it. Good luck with it. You got to have some works behind it. Well, I believe and I got faith. You got to have some works behind it. You just can't sit there. Well, I think it's going to be all right. I prayed about it. I'm going to go sit down. We live in a capitalist society, and the fact that they bailed out SVB, bailed out the banks before, it lets you know that's who they deem to be the winners. Innovating. Can you imagine those startups fail? A lot of work, especially with AI having to start over. The data is here. You just have to process it and be open to understand and listen. That's what they deem to be the winners. Everybody else, average working Joe, maybe they consider to be the loser. If they had and I have my feelings about it, and I always complain like, hey, when are they going to build out Main Street? They're not going to, because people are doing what they want to do. They're doing what they want to do. From Becky, Dusty Dan, Little Little TT, Little Wee Wee Man, Mr. Wong the Wee Wee Man. People are doing what they want to do. People in those groups that are building, doing what they want to do. People in those groups that are not building, doing what they want to do. People in those groups that are just in go. They have just inculcated a whole concept of just breathing it in, taking it in. I'm going to act like, I'm going to emulate. I'm going to give birth to dust. That's the behavior. They're doing what they want to do. People who want to build, who like to do research, think ahead, plan, they're doing what they want to do. See, capitalists, you're also taking a chance because you might not win. It's no guarantee. But to get so far, and then this happens. That's why they bailed out SVB. That's why the S&L. Not going to let it fall. Think about, and I thought about the Black community. Again, when you're a wealth builder, you can call it however you want. We can all be winners. But when you're a wealth builder and you have innovation and you've got jobs lined up for people or things that can create jobs and propel society or community or yourself to the next level, that is a winner, okay? That person is an asset. Based on their ability, what they're trying to do is an asset. And I thought about the BC. Rewind the tape before many of us were even born. Who in the heck didn't see in the 50s or the 60s, you got all this integration? Who the heck did not see, hey, we got integration, but some of our businesses are falling behind. Everybody running over to Becky's and Dusty Dan's store. Preacher, who didn't see that happening? To say, hey, okay, integration, you accomplished that. But you can't be a foolish person to stand by and see what you built collapse. And that's exactly what we did. Who the hell did not open up to see? There had to be somebody with a big mouth like me, but I get it. Nobody would want to listen. Girl, we don't need that little old store. The white man got a store around the corner. Slowness. So it didn't occur to you, maybe, the Black store that you've been going to because you had to, those people are going to lose their business, they're going to lose their home, workers, and then you fast forward, that's our mentality, and you wonder why you have higher unemployment than anybody else. Everybody else is building. So if you don't build at the same rate, you're going to be sitting up there, well, I'm going to just let them build it, and I put my trust in them. Then once they've taken care of their own and give you what's left, you want to complain, please stop. That makes no sense. I thought about it. How much talent from the 50s, 60s on have we seen in the BC? But guess what? We operate differently. America, what is it? They're not going to bail out the loser. And I guess they'll consider the rest of us losers. That's a different conversation. But let's think about it. Business-wise, oh my God, we live in a capitalist society. We can't just do socialism where everybody sit at home and get a check and get an EBT card and watch TV all day. We can't do that. Or do a little bit of work. And then I'm tired. You did 3 hours of work, big whoop. And I thought about it. And we need to have a conversation. We're doing things the exact opposite. And then you wonder why you got a worse result. The BC, man, how many of business owners, somebody smart, no support, we would have been let you hit that ground. Well, you're going to have to go get a job. And then that's what most of you go and get a job. I have met so many black business owners that have to do the same thing, go get a job. And then you wonder why the group is at the bottom. We'll do the exact opposite. We will see our talent and we will forsake it and we will ignore it. We're afraid somebody's going to have something. We will see our talent. I ain't going to help that person. Like I said, before I even did YouTube, I remember seeing there was a change, I guess, in the payment process, or maybe the amount, the percentage perhaps, for a lot of YouTubers before I got on. And I remember black YouTubers having a big, some of them just big, and oh my gosh. And I remember reading the comments, and you have some black folks, well, you get a job. And I'm like, this person gives out valuable information, thought provoking. So you want the person to go get a job, work a 40-hour week, then do all these stories, and so you just gonna sit at home and you're gonna watch for free. I mean, there were YouTubers I recall that they were, just having to keep on asking, practically begging for support. And one in particular, he got it. Good for him. And I thought about it. We're doing things the exact opposite, and then wonder why we're at the bottom as a collective, as a food chain. You wonder why. This is why. This is why, as he said, America, they're not gonna they're gonna bail out the winners, and they can determine who the winners are. The BC, we could have winners in our group, entrepreneurship, a person that's smart. We're not gonna bail you. We'll let you hit the fall ground real quick, hit the ground real quick. But somebody coming home from jail, oh, he coming home from jail, it's a party. Oh, she on her fifth baby mama ain't never been married, don't care about no marriage, and then she looking for a whole bunch of gifts from the little baby shower and all of that. And when things get rough, get on the phone and call some other black woman to come through. We'll put all our money into those people. Oh, little TT, well, he don't like to work. We'll put all our, that's who we'll rescue. And we don't want to face it, but collectively, a lot of our people, this is what the BC will do. We'll forsake the talent. We will forsake the talent. That black man that created that machine for water in Detroit, that black man should have had a whole class, should have had an office, should have had people come and say, hey, you know what? Let's see how we can teach others to do it. We don't want to do that. We can't even get the basics down about family, child. We still stuck on baby mama, baby daddy. First class seats of poverty. Young black women sitting up here, and I got to do the video. They've solved a 2,000 year old math equation. We should be basically trying to emulate that behavior. What can we do? What school is this? What's the teaching? They should have a YouTube channel or something. We're not going to, we'll say, oh, that's good, and keep it going. Oh, that's good. That's about as good as it's going to get, and keep it going. Young black girl, she's up, one selling lemonade, one is selling candles, I'm sorry. Other one is selling tea. We'll say, oh, that's good. After all that's good, let's see how many sales we get. And I don't even like tea, but I bought some of the tea just to entrepreneurship. I really don't drink tea like that. I'm a coffee person. But I bought it. You know what I'm saying? I want to have some sales. Dr. Claude Anderson, those books ought to be sold out. But we don't want that. Tell you the truth, I feel for the man. I respect him highly. You're trying to save a community that doesn't want to be saved. The BC is doing what they want to do. I mean, I'm doing what I want to do. You're doing what you want to do. To an extent, we all are. Let's be real. I thought about that. What if the BC had adapted that? The talent that we have. To get together and support the talent instead of next thing you know, the talent just so broke down, got a good idea, then somebody else come along and then they steal it and they get all the praise. What if we had done? What if we operated in that manner? But no, I forget. This is a community where the business owners get raw. I don't want to pay out it. I need a discount. It's such a tack. I'm sorry to say. And if somebody doesn't like it, that's fine. It's such a tacky group to do business with. I feel for the black entrepreneur dealing with the no-grow Negro. Good luck, honey. May Jesus help you, because I dealing with this group right here. I've heard and seen too many stories, plus my own experience. So you think about it and wonder why you're at the bottom. You have to realize that sometimes what we're doing is wrong. So in closing, what did he say?
America was built by bailing out winners.
We'll see somebody that's a winner. We'll get jealous we don't like the way they look. Who give a darn? It is the information. The BC is doing things totally opposite. What we will do, we'll be like little Teethy, because he done got in trouble again with the police. You know, they be always messing with him. Well, you know, she got them kids, but she needs to wake the hell up and get a lesson. Little TT honey will never be there for you. He's not. You can have 3 and 4. You can have 40 kids by him. A Dusty is not going to be there for him. And you can't raise a grown-ass man that doesn't want to do anything for himself. So look at how we operate. We're always trying to always trying to pocket watch somebody else, and then that looks like us, and I always try to put them down. We have so much talent in the community, but it will go unnoticed. It will go unsupported. We wouldn't bail them out for jack. We'd rather bail out somebody out of jail, and they'll get out and do something stupid again. Leave it to black business owners for the black community, unless it's about some hair, some food, or some hair, some food, or some shoes. Good luck. Kids can't read. Black teachers ought to be wealthy. You should be able to set up, just maybe get an executive office, and get the kids to behave, and have smaller groups where you can teach them. No, I ain't finna do all that. Public school work fine for me. Yeah, now you're sitting up here. My child can't read. So think about how this group operates, and think about the S&Lcrisis, SVB, decisions that are made. I mean, they totally changed the FDIC to make everybody whole. Why do you think that is? In closing, I think he has the answer.
Watching him bust his ass until he fell off of a townhouse one day. A lifetime of insurance payments, and they dropped him before he could buy a wheelchair, but only after they got him hooked on painkillers. Now, do you think I'm going to let that happen to me? You think America 2010 gives a flying rat's ass about Carver or Nash? America doesn't bail out the losers. America was built by bailing out winners, by rigging a nation of the winners, for the winners, by the winners.
Rigging a nation. Cheapers. What they're doing, they're making sure they stay on top. Just like the BC, we make sure our business owners and our talent stays at the bottom. We snuff them out because we don't want anyone to have anything that looks like us. And plus, in doing so, somebody might say, "Well, he's so and so. I haven't done anything," and we don't want to call out the fact that basically we just want to be lazy, do our little old job, and lay down and go to sleep, and that's fine. Do you? But you don't have to have hate against somebody else that has a business mindset. Look at the stimulus. They gave $1,400 maybe twice. Woo wee whippity wee. SBA, $2,000 free. Then they gave out loans at 2 or 3% interest. PPP. All Hollywood business owners, actresses. Heck, Kramer. Did he sign for the PPP loan? I think he did. I'm not sure if he got it because he owns a restaurant, and I think he may have tried if I recall, but his was declined. It's like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Kramer, he owns a restaurant. Do you get it? Look what they gave everybody else for the stimmy, average Americans. But when it came to the PPP loans, all the money paid out to the business owners, the ones that are willing to take a chance. They didn't say, "Well, you're going to have to just fall on your butt." They at least gave them that. SBA loans. Now, those were the ones that were not forgiven. So, and people were getting nice amounts of tens of thousands of dollars. One guy owns 2 liquor stores. He's Indian American, I believe. He got over $100,000. He said for each store. Yeah. So what are they doing? If you notice, the money they willing to give Main Street, what are they doing? People that are business oriented, they're giving them more access to funding. Silicon Valley. Those startups. Again, if that was the BC, oh man, you wouldn't have had that in Silicon Valley. It wouldn't have been saved. There wouldn't be no SBA, no people. Well, you got everybody get a job. It's like, well, hello, dumb. If these companies fall down and businesses, find a job where? Well, I hate to say it. The BC, the black community would have pretty much let everything just fall, and then start all over. Your mindset, and you want to run something. Some people are delusional, think they're going to run this country. No, you're not, because that's why the immigrant is here. In my opinion, your replacement is here. Yeah. We're not business oriented. And the country is. It's capitalism. We're anti-capitalist. They see how we are with each other, so let alone everybody else. Everybody knows they can go to us and make some money. Because they already know. You should set up a shop in their neighborhood and you'll get rich. Because what? We're not going to invest in our best and brightest. So since you say, you hate white so much, this you might want to take a page out of his book. It's probably in his playbook. You think? How to stay on top. Yeah. You might want to take a page out of that playbook. You see how it's working? It was something called, was it a movie, How She Moved? Well, now you see how he moved. This is one aspect of how he moved, what they doing. That explains the bailout process. No, in my opinion, they're going to never bail out Main Street. They'll never bail out Main Street. And sometimes there is a bailout for Main Street, especially when you hear things like they can buy a house on Section A. That was interesting to me, and all the programs. But Main Street some on Main Street don't want that. So yeah. Why they do what they do, the information is out there. You just happen to have an open mind and maybe willing to listen and get out of your feelings. S&L, all of that. SVB, bailout. Who would the BC bailout? Aside from little TT out of jail, who would the BC bailout? Well, we want to bail out these baby mamas. Why would you bail out? I'm sorry to say, especially when you see that some of them aren't ready. Now, it could be a baby mama that's trying to go to school. She needs some help. We're not going to help her. Oh, that single mother. She has 1 or 2 kids or 3 kids, and she's going to work and school. I don't care how many kids. She's going to work and she's going to school. Oh, maybe somebody could help her out. Well, we're not going to do that. Well, someone going to have to give. She might as well work 2 jobs and get out of school. Let it be the one that's doing nothing but holding up some felonious father. So she says her baby daddy, he out of jail. We got to go ahead and throw him a party. We got to do something. She on her 6th child. We got to do something. That's what the BC will be like. Well, for some reason, we seem to really sympathize with and really try to pull a card of humility and I want to help you when it's somebody who is just at the bottom of the barrel. Somebody who's making bad decisions over and over again. We're going to side with it. What's the saying? I'm sticking beside him. We're going to stick beside but bad decision. Over and over again. So yeah, so out of the old playbook. So in case you didn't know, if you don't know, now you know. It makes sense who they're bailing out. And they want to keep the winners on top. The BC, we do the opposite. We're not going to bail out the winners. Somebody with business acumen, intelligence, and want to build something. No, you on your own. Well, listen, you trying to do all that. You want us to support you with a think tank and then put some money together for you. You going to have to go get a job and then just work on it. Work on that job from 9 to 5, get home, work on that idea, that business from 6 to 12. That's what you're going to have to do. And then try to sleep from 12 to 6 and do it again. And then you wonder why when people do make it in the BC, they just won't leave them alone. They don't want no drama. Because they already know there was no support. So now that they've made it, it's like somebody really quick, like somebody who's been standing on the bus stop. and you pass by that person, rain, shine, sleet, or snow, and you up there rolling in your little ride, and you wave every now and then. Now the person has made it. He or she has a Rolls Royce, and you send up, hey, remember me? Yeah, they remember you as they stood on that bus stop and you drove by waving. Wouldn't even have my umbrella. And what the BC does, now they want to try to hitch on the wagon. Why? Users. They love to try to use people trying to accomplish something. So yeah, this explains the PPP. This explains SVB. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm out. Simply said here on YouTube.